can't get her out of my life. Blue skies seem so far away.
Culture and me.
It is a place where the truth should be kept.
The arts and music scene really shows what people are about.
Share what's going on here in York.
It makes you feel like a family.
Local art has a face that most people can relate.
Our community up here that sticks together.
Art is art.
Great potential with great artists, poets, singers, writers, directors, filmmakers. It's fantastic. Everyone has a story to tell.
That moment, you have to capture that moment and share it with the rest of the world.
Showing something that maybe has not been seen before.
Without art, what good is life?
I am art. I've been art ever since I was born.
It really adds a great deal to our community.
We don't really need art to exist, but you need art to live.
Culture in Maine is important, and I think playing out is important, and playing open mics and playing wherever you can play. It's all about us all checking in with each other.
Hey, I'm Marty Esworthy. I'm from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I lived at other cool places that were more fun, but Harrisburg's home. Anyway, I'm reading today from some books, 26 Javanese Proverbs from Iris G. Press, a couple years back, Lee Hinton's thing, and also The Object Stares Back, Words and Music, and this is by TNT Press. And Hard Reality is from a legendary guitar player and poet in Harrisburg called Paco, otherwise known as Frank Miller. And I'm proud to be reading some of their work and to be here today. Thanks. My black dress melding into black leather. Inhaling Colorado, breathing in and out like Corfam. Tingling in summer sun, my dress is sleek, my gun is quick, I sit pinned to the back seat by boiling charcoal. Melting into sketches of deep penetration of many mean little bics. Remember the scent of Vapor-Rub? Yes, that is cruising the cylinders of my warm thighs and crushing them. Grinding them into the hot leatherette sculpturing that is not the front seat. My arbors are ready for harvest. My phone change is running on empty, but I could change to another carrier with a blazing new name. My choice, really, I could. I really could. But my throat is like parchment and my cheeks are on fire and I do not speak the new language. And my eyes are wide, wide open, and they are not any kind of shade of turquoise. Seeing the universe with intensity imparted by desire, a youth attempts to move directly from the threefold world of Beulah to the fourfold finality of Eden. The boy stood for a long time with his hand in his pocket. Constant or lang, livet or court, love is a sad parade. Time passages, hot pockets. Now he has a book under his arm. Anguish fills him. Light travels faster than sound. In the dingy solitude of a third-rate hotel in Bucharest, he is confronted by the chill inner void of his own consciousness. This is a big mistake. The march of science, the reality of his own morality, mortality, the Flying Burrito Brothers, Poco, the dance of Shiva. In the public square where that boy stood 5 verses past, there are like 2 monuments and more than 7 words for snow, rubbing noses, the long and cool repose of Albion. Yeah. Det Esken hos Eskimoen. I'm saying about the story of the Almost Uptown Poetry Cartel, which goes way back to, I think, 1989, when Jane Todd Cooper, Michael Lira Limpy, and some other people did a gig at Nexus Gallery in Philly. It was Harrisburg and Philly poets reading together, and for the Harrisburg poets, we used a name that Michael had come up with years ago, the Almost Uptown Poetry Cartel. He says the deal was that you got to know the topography of Harrisburg, but we were close to Foster Street and not close to the real Uptown. And so it was kind of a literal thing. And then we put cartel in because we thought that might be tough and scary. And poets need to be a little tough and scary because otherwise people step on you and squash you like a bug. So the cartel was kind of dormant for a couple of years. And sometime in, I'm thinking close to the turn of the century, in 1999, there was a reading on 3rd Street that a lady said, Marty, you want to do this reading thing? Because I had hosted other readings. And I was real proud of myself. I said no, because I knew how much work it is. And then later I relented because it was only like a block and a half from my house. And so that was the beginning of what was called Poetry Thursdays, which was hosted and sponsored by different members of the Poetry Cartel for, I think it's 15 years now and still running. And we were in a lot of different venues, like we were downtown for a while at the Susquehanna Art Museum, and we were across the river in a suburb, but the suburbs scare me. So we came back to Harrisburg to Midtown Cinema for a while, and then we are now safely ensconced in the Midtown Scholar bookstore, and that's kind of a nice gig there. Comfortable, but not too comfortable. Poets got to be on the edge of their seat. That's what I'm saying. And I wrote a girl, sort of a girlfriend, not a real girlfriend, but someone that I was close to at one time. And I wrote her a poem that was a pretty straightforward poem about me dreaming about nighthawks or something like that. And she called me up and saved me from a bad dream. So I put that in a poem, which was pretty nice and a straight narrative type thing. And she said, I don't know. I said, how you feel about that? And because, you know, and she said, well, I'm having trouble with poetry because the nuns used to make me look for the hidden meaning. And she didn't know about the hidden meaning. And other times I would write stuff, regular, straightforward narrative. I'd write about walking in the woods or something like that and seeing a pretty flower. And people say, well, I don't know. I don't know what that means, you know. And I thought, oh, I can't say bad words. So I'd say heck or darn that. Then I just won't be writing like that anymore. If people want to know what it means, and I'm writing straightforward, real narrative stories, then I'm not worrying about meaning. And it's not that I neglect meaning in my poems, but I do think that in poetry, sound is certainly important. So there are basic elements of prosody that are poetry, rhythm, rhyme, imagery, and all that business. But to me, the one that most poets don't use enough is sound. And I think sound is a pretty basic, fundamental building block for poetry. I think it's the most thing that makes it different from prose, that there's the lyric sound. Because I might write things where meaning is the least important component, but I am trying to write lyrically and rhythmically and with other characteristics that people connect with poetry. You just can't follow it without a scorecard. and there is no scorecard. So that's what's up with that. I believe in basic elements of poetry. You can learn those things in presentation. I also think that, man, if you don't read your poetry out loud because words are meant to be said, that your poetry is not going to get better. You really have to hear it and feel the tones coming in your head and out of your mouth, and that helps to write poetry, which is, in essence, language and meant to be heard. Title of this poem is either R-E-M or R-E-M. Your choice. Starts out like this. Blue. That glove. You are in Orly. The wind is blowing. You are in Hibbing, Minnesota. You are Hibbing. You are Bobby Zimmerman. Il fait froid. Cool. Very cool. You sprint for a bus. You are still in the 20th century. On the Champs-Élysées, desiccants are of value. Breathing heavily, you fumble for change. The driver does not notice. Now you are in your own seat. You are in, say, Buffalo. You are like lake effect snow. You are soft and dry. Uh-oh. One of your gloves is missing. You think about virtually retracing your sprint to the bus. You have no laptop. You scan the street, the front of the bus. You are Philadelphia. You are Utica, Athens. Everybody hurts. Sometime later, you see blue, something dark blue, frozen, like on the floor, windy. Up near the fare box, on the floor, blue, soft and dry. Windy fare box, blue and dry and soft. This is Nobel introduces dynamite. Ambulances, appliances near an anchor, store at dusk. Fuses neath the lindens, before a kneeling fawn, lit luridly by an uneasy moon, seemingly ready at any moment to surge toward Empyrean. Sweep of draperies, hint of fusion, waiting, filled with serenity and Darvaset, wearing only a necklace around their many throats and holding tufts of roses in the hollows of their long and elegant palms. Curve of their bellies quiver as if winds that blow the clouds and chimera that simultaneously take shape-shifting to a new and unparalleled heights of positron strength to carry both solid and weighty things. Stuff. 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 Wild palms and their eyes were the calm, sure eyes of animals. Diana Chang went to China as an infanta and spent her wonder years in Shanghai and Nanking. Then she came home and went to Barnard and wrote the Eurasians, Rhapsody in Blue. Nothing in music happens by accident. No effect lacks cause. Oh, generalissimo. Vexed by the weight of centuries, a co-ed unbuttons her blouse and sways to the music. The storm, birds, railroad locomotion shifting from melodic to menopause and back, and refusing to even examine a cave at the bottom of the sea because the first cause did not ordain the plotting of ocean floor relief maps as integral to man's destiny. Chiang Kai-shek, by varied elapses of harmonic or contrapuntal time, by alterations of rhythm and meter, by delay, return, resolve, and by the placing, deformation, repetition, and or variation of theme or motif, by introducing decorative music signs, such as pictographs for curves ahead, lost the mainland to the godless commies, and already his inamorata wears a silver belt. Whoa. As a measure of my respect, I slice an apple into quadrants, and I tie my damn tie, and oceans and little moons roar beneath my Air Jordans, singing lanterns. To Kiriko, a landscape made of light and mineral. Forests of masts. That frightening Reading prong. Hola, those brilliant nylon balloons. I never did good in school, but I took classes and eventually became a teacher, and I was a much better teacher than I was a student because I can't sit still, and teachers don't have to sit still. So that was cool. And plus, I really enjoy teaching. It's a very comfortable thing that I like. I taught a couple of years in public schools, and a little bit, I had booked a band that played at the school once and worked with them. And my wife got a gig in New Brunswick. She did a master's degree at Rutgers. So we took a leave of absence from, we were teaching in Carroll County, Maryland. And we took a leave of absence and went up to Rutgers. And I started booking bands up there. I had a quote office in New York. It was just a mail drop. You pick up your mail there, and they tell you who called on the telephone. And so I would go to New York a lot. And one of the things with the bands I was booking was that I wanted to teach them some basic rock and roll slow standards, because if you're playing a lot of gigs, you can't just be playing real loud stuff all the time or fast stuff. So you need to slow it down. And I thought I would look up some stuff to read about old rock and what the best songs would be to choose for my bands. And there weren't any damn books. So I thought, what the hell, I'll write a book. Now, I can't write a book because I don't have the mental discipline to do that. But I started to compile things, and then in the compiling of it, I would hear a lot of music that I had never heard before. Like I started with, you go back to early rock in the 50s, and then you go back even further to what were called jump blues, or how about this for the charts? They were called the race charts in the 1940s. And that was black music, the beginning of rhythm and blues and stuff like that. And then back even further to blues, old blues, Charlie Patton and Bessie Smith and stuff like that. And as I'm listening to this stuff, I have my reactions to it, but I wonder how other people feel about the old stuff. And I started teaching classes about, I think I started out with some blues or swing classes. And then I went to a sort of an overall chronology of rock music, and I got a lot of gigs there. For a while I was making my living booking bands, but then this rock and roll professor, that's what they called me in Baltimore, because I was sort of a gypsy prof. You would teach it at one school, like up on the top of the Beltway in Towson, and then down low in Timonium, and then eventually I branched out to some the DC Beltway around the city, Silver Spring and all that. So there was no end of gigs because schools back then were desperate to be relevant. And also, they didn't care whether I could teach good or not. They just wanted to say, hey, we're hip kids, come to our school, because we had some rock and roll classes. So, I mean, I had it made pretty much. People say, well, you need to send in your syllabus. And I say, oh, yeah, I'll send it in. But nobody never got no syllabus from me. But it was a good gig, and I liked it a lot, and I enjoyed teaching at different schools. I taught in Nashville also. I taught at Vanderbilt. I did some lectures for Fisk in Nashville, I was real honored to be doing that, and I did some stuff at Vanderbilt. Vidi la sua figura bella così misteriosa. What a day. What a day. What a day for a daydream. Whoosh. The wind whips you. You cross your legs. Your legs change their design. Motion is like that. What a day. Motion whips you, changes you in a way that inertia could never challenge. The leaves begin to fade just as form follows function, just as nothing beats a great pair of legs. Like promises we made, the wind is like that. Like motion or the great vowel shift of Anno 1591. A contour loses its gentle curve, its easy wind. Rhythm is like that. Little islands of ice on the surface of a calm, clear sea. Glacial. Glacial. You uncross your legs like no harp or shape or form ever vibrating under 1,000 points of insufficient light and dream, whose music fades into blue like a gentle whisper rolling across your oh so soft and contoured shoulders. First thing I ever wrote that was published was some poems in 7th grade, and I thought, wow, I mean, cool, there's my name in a book and people talking about it. And so I liked that. And then when I was in 9th grade, I won some prizes. The PSEA has statewide stuff for kids. And actually now it's bigger stuff than I thought it was back then. But still, I'm getting props for my writing. And when you get props and people are nice to you about something, then you tend to pursue that. And it took a long time for me to get from sing-song poetry or rhymed poetry into something that I enjoy now. And I'm not saying what I'm writing without meaning as the focus is for everybody, but I sure like it, and it is a little narrow genre of itself. And when I'm writing poetry at 3 or 4 in the morning, whether it's a good poem or a bad poem, I'm the king of the world and the king of poetry. And I really like that a whole lot. And I also love to perform, and I love to read my poetry out loud, because then people can know a little bit more about sound and stuff like that. And I love, if I'm talking the talk, then I better get out there and read it and let people hear other ways to approach poetry. Meaty, beady, big and bouncy. Okay. You know, I honestly feel that the artless shape of the curve of your back has something to do with a Bombay type gin. And therefore, I should never see you again. And you think that at the bottom of Nietzsche's heart, he loves man, but wants him to become higher, better, higher and nobler than maybe he cares to be himself. Well, after Hakim's mother began spinning his yarn into cloth for a long white robe known in the New York art scene as a burnous, I began to think that maybe I would enjoy seeing you on, like, perhaps Monday afternoons. Not really sure. You stand by the table bathed in the wonder that is Formica and stare dreamily at a Camaro in the next driveway. I don't like expressways. They frighten me. You move me like the implied tension of an off-ramp. There is a sad tempest in your impure hair. Henri told me that. How droll. Your head and shoulders are flushed. Yesterday, you held the glass side of a metal hand mirror, cool against your cheek. Thousands, I say thousands, in colorful and protective rain gear are traveling on small boats, approaching the falls, both falls, many thousands. Many dominant reds and blues, colors of free, untrammeled spiritus, contrast with accents of black in the trees and in the cliffs. 3 or 4 travelers begin to melt into that landscape which becomes holier than thou, greater than the Rubaiyat, stronger than dirt, and or more powerful than a speeding locomotive, like snow upon a desert's dusty face. Ola, a panoramic view from the center of Rainbow Ridge, reveals both falls and a power station. Think of it, as Pushkin could not be complete without Anna Kern, and Yesenin would be nothing without his Isadora, so Pasternak would not be Pasternak without Olga Ivashkina. Cupolas of gold will boom with bells. The columns will raise the trumpets, and I say, let the boys be boys. Suspended by steel cables, an aerocar reeling and rocking flickers Turista high above the whirlpool. Vigorous lines delineate contours of promontory. Oh, the panorama. I mean, Ms. Olga's life was certainly as troubled and as complicated as was that of Lara. Lara, her namesake in Zhivago. Lara. The tramways are whispering Niagara, and flocks of birds soar over the aerocar. Thousands. I don't know. I'm a nice guy, and I can run and jump and stuff like that, and I'm an old guy, but I'm pretty happy with my life. And a lot of it does come from poetry and the fact that within the Harrisburg community and the York community and Lancaster too, that there are a lot of people that are very outstanding writers, and I'm proud to know these people and be able to talk to them. Good people, a lot of good people. This is not, in this area, maybe because this is a conservative area, writers have to band together more than they would, say, in New York or in other communities. But I'm living large, and I'm liking it, and I love the people that are my friends and people I can talk poetry concept with. Like this. This is fun. This is called Life and Love Among the Amish. Search for absolute zero. Peach blossoms. Starry nights. To know no boundaries. The new urbane loneliness. Yeah. These are the things you are to me. Casting a chill. Elixir of life. Spark of lifesavers in a black buggy. Petals on a bough. Pennies in a stream. An Amtrak frozen for 30 seconds in Montpelier at 3:42 a.m. in 1985, spring. Verizon, so like the Bodhi tree, wet, musky, superior magic. My spirit is forever with you. You cannot go both ways. A forked road appears to lead in different directions. You are the Huron of my lonely little heart.
I've actually grown up dancing like that, so it wasn't hard for me to get used to. But it's a lot of work, and you don't really get that much time to breathe, but it's so much fun. It's worth it. Hi, I'm Brittany Byers, and I live in Jefferson, Pennsylvania, and I am one of the entertainers here at Livewire.
My name is Dan Fisher. I'm the area manager of resident shows here at Hershey Park. Every year we like to bring back some returning favorites, and we like to bring in some new, fresh entertainment. So Hershey Park Livewire was a new show that we developed and said, okay, let's make this the show that happens first during Music Box Theater's day.
I've actually been coming here to ride the rides with my family since I was maybe 6 or 7. And I've actually performed here a couple of times with my mom's company in the amphitheater.
We hire people from all over the country. It takes a little over 100 humans, performers and technicians, to run all of our resident shows. And they come to us, I think this summer they're coming to us from 55 different states and British Columbia, Canada.
Institution of reason, melodic pollutions.
During my last semester of college, they had an audition here, so I flew from Oklahoma to audition for it, and I got the job.
In Brittany's case, Brittany is obviously from York. She went to school in Oklahoma, and she came back home to audition for us at Hershey Theater in February. So we found her via York, Oklahoma, and then the Hershey Theater, and we hired her based on her audition here in Hershey in February.
I was put into dance at the age of 2, and my mom was my dance teacher growing up, and I just fell in love with it, and my dad is a singer, so I kind of followed him with that too. I do my makeup and my hair. Before the show opened, Scott had us do our makeup and hair, and then he adjusted what he wanted. And I had to change my color. I had black, but blue is more vibrant and probably looks better from stage. So we have to do that every morning. Usually I do it when I get here, but sometimes I'll do it at home if I wake up early enough.
Well, I think Hershey Park Livewire does, in the show, we do a nice job of explaining at the beginning what it's all about. You know, it's all about how music connects us. Music and technology, really. And it's just a rock and roll party. You know, we have a couple singers, we have a couple guitar players, and we have a bunch of dancers. And they're just here to sing some rock and roll favorites and show us how we're all connected by music. We can all connect to these songs. We all can connect to the energy that they have in the performance.
My ultimate goal is to be on Broadway, so either as ensemble or lead, but ensemble is my goal. But I wouldn't mind doing anything. I have a couple of offers for cruise ships after this, so I'd like to get a taste of everything in the entertainment industry.
Alright, passengers, it's time to get up and out of those seats. Please enjoy this rock and roll train. We're gonna teach you guys a little combination called the rock notes. You can have right answers go something like this. Chugga, 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 chugga.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah. Girl, I'm in love with you. This ain't the honeymoon, past the infatuation phase. Right in the thick of love, times we get sick of love. Seems like we argue every day. I know I misbehaved and you made your mistakes. We both still have room left to grow. Though love sometimes hurts, I still put you first, and we can make this work. I think we should take it slow. We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go, because we're ordinary people. This time we should take it slow. take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow, slow. This time we'll take it slow. This ain't no movie, no fairy tale conclusion, yo. It gets more exciting every day. At times it's heaven sent, then we fall back to hell again. We kiss and make up on the way. I hang up, you call, we rise and we fall, and we both feel like walking away. As our love advances, we take second chances. It's not a fantasy. I still want you to stay with us ordinary people. We don't know which way to go because we're ordinary people. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow, slow. This time we'll take it slow, slow, slow. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow, slow. This time we'll take it slow.
We just have a fun spotlight tonight that I could not resist doing because this discovery was made while having a completely unrelated dinner at a local restaurant, and I heard this ethereal, gorgeous sound coming from a few booths away, and it turned out to be Kiko. And I said, you know what? I promise I'm not a crazy person, but I need you to just come on my show and share some of what you do. This is just proof that talent is everywhere. So now, are you a native York County boy, or how did you end up here?
I actually, I haven't been in York for 6 years, so I moved away to go to college, and then that fell through. So I started working, tons of jobs, tons of different jobs. Then I decided, it's time to come home a little bit, so came back.
How long have you been singing?
I've been singing since the ripe old age of, I want to say 10 to 12, yeah.
Oh my goodness. How did you get started? You started singing, like, were you in church? Were you just in front of the mirror with the hairbrush?
Church, actually, funny story before that, we used to take the little old boom boxes and get really old tapes. So my mom used to be mad at us. We used to take and record over her Aretha.
No.
And just send messages to each other. And we'd be like, okay, well, it's cool. Let's sing. We see the people in church do it all the time. So we just started singing to each other, singing messages back and forth. And that was just the start of a beautiful thing.
I mean, you seem very trained. Have you been studying music since then, or?
No, actually, I just started taking voice lessons about 2 years ago. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Got you doing your little vocal warm-ups in there. I remember those days. Getting the voice ready. Where do you see yourself going with this? Where would you like to see your music take you?
I would actually like it to take me all the way. I want to, go to the top, let people hear me, give people an uplifting, motivational, thing to look at, because you don't really get that too much anymore. It's all about look, image, who's doing what, who's doing the hottest thing. I want to be able to touch people's souls and just make it my own, make music my own.
You want to be like a timeless classic.
Yeah.
You want to be the musician that keeps giving.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, where can people find you if they want to track you down and find out more about what you're doing?
Am I allowed to say it on here?
If you have like a Facebook you want to put out there, or
Okay.
if you have like any, little YouTube videos that you put up or anything like that, yeah, absolutely plug them away.
Well, you can find me at facebook.com/kiko.kid. That's kind of like a little thing that I have going for each other. Or if you can't find me by that, just look me up by Akeem Kiko Brabham. That's my thing. And then getting a little YouTube thing off the break, off the rocks, I used to say it. But
we're getting it off the rocks. We're going straight, no chasing.
Definitely. That's coming. It's up and coming. I'm still looking for people to help me out with that, because I'm not sure about the whole recording process. I'm a little novice in that.
Oh my gosh, you definitely don't sound like one. You know what? I love to just put people on the spot just to mess with them. Would you mind? Because when I first heard you sing, you just were singing completely a cappella, just absolutely off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me something to take us out.
To take us out?
Whatever you like.
All right. Let's do. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best friend I'll ever know. There's no way I could ever go. Darling, there's no way. No, 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 no way I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. I don't want to be free, no. I'm staying. And you, you're gonna love me. Whoa, love me.
We are here in New York City for the first Friday showcase. We're going to show you lots of the artists that are here. It's great artists, great music. I hope you stay tuned, and please, please, please support your art community here in New York City. They are making a difference. They are changing the face of York City. Without them, York City would not be what it is today. So please continue your support of these wonderful and amazing artists, and those artists that have not shown their faces yet. Please get out into the community and express yourself. Show yourself to your city. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy the show.
All of the time inside scream, but nobody hears me. I've been here before. Soon as the eyes open, I can start
So I'm here with Amber Ramirez at, which art gallery is this? This is the Hive. She is going to explain a little bit about her love for insects and the technique that she uses to make these very intricate and detailed necklaces that I will be purchasing one from her today. But first I'm going to get a little information about this fantastic art form.
Hi, I'm Amber. These are some of my favorite cicada, which is really cool. And you normally don't think that insects like a cicada would be really pretty, but when they actually open their wings up, they're gorgeous creatures. I do hand-drawn artwork on Shrinky Dinks, and if you don't know what Shrinky Dinks are, it's basically shrinkable plastic, and you can buy sheets of it at Michael's. And what I do is I'll do a design on a piece of paper, I'll basically trace that design, and then I'll color it with Prismacolor pencils, and then I shrink it in a toaster oven, as funny as that is, and then I'll cover it with resin. And the beads I get from like online on Etsy or at Michael's, and just kind of throw everything together. That's basically my process. I don't know, I like these insects a lot.
Now, other than doing necklaces and stuff, I also see that do you do other art forms as well? Like
I paint with watercolor, acrylic. I also do a lot of just regular drawings with Prismacolor pencils as well.
Hi, I'm here with Rhonda with Animal Rescue Inc. She's going to tell us a little bit about her organization and exactly what they do. I know it's an animal no-kill shelter. I'm going to let her take it from there.
Okay, hello. We are Animal Rescue Inc. We're in New Freedom. We've been there for 30 years. We are a no-kill shelter. And we are here raising money for the rescue. We're a nonprofit. We have all sorts of dogs up for adoption. We have some dogs that have been at our shelter for over 10 years. We're just waiting for that perfect tone, that perfect match.
So who are some of the friends that are here with us?
This is Ava. She's a 5 or 6 year old beagle. She came from a puppy mill. She lives with us at Animal Rescue and she would love a home. If you want to find out about Ava, it's animalrescueinc.org. That's our website. And up here we're doing a raffle for 3 bottles of wine, so you can still come and visit us before 7:30 when we do the raffle pull.
And we also, our biggest event of the year is Dog's Day in the Park. It's on September the 13th in New Freedom. We welcome everyone to come with their dog. If you don't have a dog, you can rent one of ours for the day.
Who is this friend down here?
This is Goofy. Goofy has been at our rescue for a little over a year. He's a coonhound mix and just a happy-go-lucky guy.
So please visit Animal Rescue Inc. And if you are lonely, if you are in need of an animal to keep you company and love you for the rest of its life, maybe you both can help each other out and provide a great loving home for these wonderful animals that are in desperate need of your kindness and your shelter.
I'd like to say one more thing if I could. We're coming up on the summer season. Please don't leave a dog in your car for any length of time. It very rapidly heats up and you'll lose them.
There is almost too much to do. It's insane. I've seen bands at coffee shops. I've gotten homemade smoothies that are healthy for me. I've seen live music in a parking lot, in a street, on a sidewalk. I bought some jewelry. I got some crystals. I walked down the street and heard church bells ring and it was beautiful. And now I'm here at King's Courtyard with my best friend Carla Christopher.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Frazier. I'm the featured artist here at the Pennsylvania Arts Experience Gallery at Market View Arts in New York, right on Philadelphia Street across from Central Market here. And I have a group of a dozen paintings here that'll be up all month. And about 2/3 of the paintings are from Skyline Drive, which is down in the Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. Sort of paintings looking from mountaintops down into valleys. So I like to get up there and have these scenes looking down. But closer to home, I also have some paintings of the Susquehanna River. I'm more from the Harrisburg portion of the river, so a lot of these paintings are actually 5 or 10 minutes from my back door, just going out in the evening and painting the river. Of course, the name of the show is From the Shenandoahs to the Susquehanna, the Natural Landscape in Electric Color. So I've done my best to have the show live up to that title, and hope you'll come and enjoy it.
Hi, Jonathan. So with these paintings, what is do you use this as a therapy for yourself? Is this more of like a hobby of yours, or is this like your career that you're pursuing?
Therapy, not my primary objective, but I do have to admit it's very relaxing. You know, what I do is I go and I set up my easel at these locations and I paint on the spot. So you can't help but find yourself very relaxed and very much in harmony with nature when you're in such a beautiful environment. And what I do is, now I'm not dogmatic about it in that every single brushstroke has to be on location. A lot of times I'll start the painting, I'll get it maybe 70-80% complete on location, I'll bring it home, let it dry, give it a week or two, and then I'll come back and change some of the shapes, some of the colors. Now I don't look at photographs or anything like that, so when I change things, I'm sort of making up things. I'm making creative decisions, just trying to get the right feel, getting the right colors, maybe changing shapes a little bit here or there just to make it a more interesting design. So that's sort of my approach. It's a hybrid. It's predominantly plein air, but there's a lot of creativity that goes into it as well. It's not simply that I'm there trying to literally copy that day and that scene. There's sort of an interaction there between my imagination and what I see in the environment.
It's like the combination of fiction and nonfiction. I see that are these all oil paintings?
They are.
Okay, so that is your choice of painting the oil paintings. Do you use any acrylics?
Excellent question.
I admit, I really love oil paint. Now I have used acrylic on occasion, nothing in this show, but I've done a few wall murals I've been commissioned to do, and there you have to use acrylic. I've done a few more illustration-based projects, and with that you have a turnaround, a deadline. They have to be done quickly, and they can't still be wet, otherwise they put them on the flatbed scanner and people get upset. So I do work with acrylic. Also when I teach, about half of my students prefer to paint in acrylic because of its fast drying time. So often I have to get a little hands-on with the students in their works. So I'm very familiar with acrylics, but definitely in my own body of work, oils is by far my first choice of medium.
I think that they kind of pull on me, especially because they're from where I live here in York, Pennsylvania, and the surrounding areas. I know these places that are in these paintings. So in seeing the different seasons, the winter, the autumn, the summer, the sunsets, the sunrises, they really make me feel a sense of home here, with the sense of completeness and unity. These are the same visions that I see when I go across the Susquehanna River when the sun is setting, and I think, this is a beautiful image that has been created by nature, and it's impressive to see man put it on canvas and hold it there forever. I'm here with Serene. She's the owner of Nuts About Granola.
Oh no, I'm not the owner.
She's not the owner.
Not the owner. Gail is.
Gail is the owner. She is here marketing some of their hot sauces and not so hot sauces. I'm going to give it a shot, and hopefully I don't need a glass of milk.
So we have our more mild sauces down here, and then it does work its way up to ridiculously hot with our Zombie Apocalypse.
Zombie Apocalypse.
Which is a ghost chili.
Ooh, is not the ghost chili one of the hottest peppers in existence?
It is, and we actually make a sauce that has ghost chili and scorpion, which scorpion is hotter than the ghost chili.
Really?
Yeah.
That I may have to let the audience try that on their own. I may stray away from that. However, I will give your Chipotle barbecue sauce a whirl if you don't mind.
Absolutely. We use honey and molasses to sweeten this one.
Okay.
Of course, it has the chipotle. There is some habanero in that.
Okay.
And it's got quite a kick.
York City, I hope you appreciate this, because this may hurt me later on.
And this one, of course, is good on burgers, chicken, ribs, pork. I put it on salads. I put it on everything. Grilled pineapple is my favorite.
Definitely has some
kick.
Kick the breath right out of me. Okay.
If you want to go with less heat, we also have our honey barbecue.
I'm gonna try the honey barbecue.
Which is really sweet because we use a lot of honey and molasses in this one.
Okay. Can use that milk right now.
Right.
So glad I didn't go with the ghost chili. That's amazing. Both very great. This I'd have to use in a little more moderation. This I could eat all day.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be behind the camera for this one, but I get a sticker if I eat the hot one. So we're making that happen.
And you know what? I'll do it with you.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Bam.
Teamwork.
All right.
I won't let you burn by yourself.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Ghost pepper.
Right. Bam.
That's a healthy dose too.
Pay attention
Cheers.
to the faces. Woo! I instantly saw the sweat start beading off of your forehead.
It's so good.
Don't worry, it'll only last about 15 minutes.
Delicious.
Definitely earn your sticker.
Stickers.
Zombie apocalypse.
Mike, how is your first Friday going?
Splendid. It's been amazing so far. I've already seen 3 bands. My heart rate's up. Good friends all around. And there's more to come.
Yeah. Now you see me take the lead. See me imitate the Morris Chief. See my key unlock your cage. Holla hell to the king that conquers this stage. But some are locked up in group homes. Only habit formed into be hostile. They're preying on the docile and just begging to be free. I want this crying. Free your mind, let my people go. This is a revolution, let these words touch your soul.
How can I make a good man when he always sees bad ones in my life? How can I make him stronger when he sees laziness from me? How can I make him God-fearing when I don't even step foot in the church? If my son gives up, it's because I allowed him to. People say I'm crazy and overprotective. No, I say I'm just a mother.
This piece is called Untold Story. In a lot of native traditions or even ancient cultures, information was passed down by storytelling, not so much like written word or nowadays like email. And stories would change over time, and maybe they would be adapted. Maybe they would be adapted to what the culture was currently going through at the time. And so, like this, for instance, is Untold Story, and this is a story that hasn't been told yet. But once it gets told, then it will change, and maybe the next generation, different characters will be added. So it could be, this was just my idea, but it could be like a story that hasn't been told yet. And it's interesting to see what different people see in the story.
Had a lot of children, fed them on peaches. They all found Jesus.
I'm Carla Christopher, and thank you for joining us right here on the corner of Culture in Maine for another episode of York's Weekly Cultural Showcase, bringing you the very best of the art and culture scene in the York area. Now, if you like what you heard, or even if you didn't, we want to hear from you. So find us on Facebook and make sure to click like at facebook.com/Culture in Maine. Follow us on Twitter at Culture in Maine. Email us at cultureinmaine@gmail.com. Or to find all things Culture in Maine, check out our website, wrct.tv. Go to Channel 18, Show Profiles, and pick Culture in Maine. We want to also thank the artists who contributed to our set. We want to thank Hacker and Case for Change for donating the guitar. And we want to thank, of course, the fabulous artist Lovey Reinhold Price Find her under The Glass Vidalia on Facebook or by emailing theglassvidalia@gmail.com, and John Stump of jsphotographyfinearts.com. You can also look up JS Photography Fine Arts on Facebook as well. So be safe, be good to each other, and we will absolutely see you here next week on the corner of Culture and Maine.
I'm really excited about this. I love the atmosphere. I just want to know more about it.
I see it evolving, changing, growing, and I like it.
It's fleeting. Once it happens, once a song comes out, once a poem comes out, it'll never come out the same.
Some of the culture in Maine is documenting what's going on in a way that will have that lasting staying power.
It just breeds hope, growth. It's a necessity. It's a necessity, yes.